Aloha, everyone. Mahalo for being with us this morning. Honolulu Police Department has been working diligently on concealed carry permits following the Supreme Court's ruling striking down the New York law that required individuals to provide a specific need to carry in public. The ruling requires Hawaii, along with other states, to amend its firearm permit process and procedures. For Honolulu, this means that we had to go back to the chief's rules that were written in 1982, signed under then Chief Francis Keala. And following a process which included a public hearing last month, we want to thank everyone for their participation in the submission of testimonies at the hearing. As a chief, it is my and the department's responsibility to ensure that Honolulu is in compliance with all firearm laws, and is also a responsibility to protect our residents of the island. It is with these two objectives in mind that the new firearms applications and permitting process were developed. Some people have expressed to me that the concealed carry requirements are too restrictive, while others think it's not strict enough. There are also many other people that agree with the new requirements as written. All of the firearms forms, along with the rules of the chief and the firearms instructor forms, are posted on our website, and you can download copies, or you can call us and we'll mail them to you, or you can come to the station and pick them up. With that, are there any questions?
Can you give us an update on how many applicants there have been and how many, if there have been any approvals?
There haven't been any approved. There are, I think, between 500 and 600. I think it's closer to 600 applications.
Can you give us an update on the gun range and its closure and how that's affecting the process of approvals?
Well, I think the Parks and Rec would be better, Laura Thielen would be better to answer that question. It was closed about a month ago, and that's where we're at. Even HPD uses that range to train, so we're not able to use it also.
Chief, are you working with the city council to try to time the issuance of these CCW permits with their deliberations over where people can carry guns in Honolulu? Is that process sort of working in parallel or in sequence?
No, we've come to these procedures. Our understanding there is a bill pending that may have those areas of sensitive places, but we're not working in conjunction with each other.
Is there an estimated date as to when the first license can be issued?
So that depends on two things. One is the applicants, and they're providing all the information required within the application process and the checklist. So they've got everything in, and then as we process those, probably the longer pull in the tent of that application process will be the mental health or medical evaluation piece. That can take anywhere from 14 to 30 days, generally sooner. And so really there is no time on it, but current applications right now are valid for 90 days. So starting Sunday, that 90-day clock started.
Regardless of pending legislation, are there already sensitive areas or areas that the public should know gun owners will not be able to take their firearms?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think there are, within the rules, we didn't identify any places, so I'm waiting for the legislature and or the city council to pass that ordinance.
Would you want to wait till it's passed before you start issuing the permits?
No, we want to continue this process because I think, we owe it to the gun rights individuals, the gun club people that want, based on their Second Amendment right to bear arms. So, how do I measure that and still do this process? So I think I have a legal obligation to meet that requirement.
How much more resources is the HPD contributing to processing and doing the reviews of that one?
So talking with the Records and Identification Division and the Firearms Section, we have sufficient personnel that are there to be able to handle the situation with the current organic organization that's there and part of Firearms. And then there are individuals that are either SA'd or volunteering to help with the assistance of that.
Some might argue that, there are barriers, how do you remove barriers for applicants? That's one of legal challenge, so that it could make it easier for these people to apply.
So, Rick, to answer that question, I think, so what I said earlier is weighing the citizens' concerns of public safety with that of the Second Amendment rights of individuals to bear arms, and then to make sure that there's a balance there. So the public is confident that the individuals getting the permits to carry are capable and are qualified to carry that firearm, and so that's what the requirements are. So I don't think there's any barrier or obstacles. There are requirements within the licensing process that I think everyone can get through, and then once they pass all those requirements, they can get their license.
Are there enough live fire training, people are certified, to do the live fire portion of that application process? Are there enough certified trainers available?
I don't know the exact number, but I think they're adequate for the members of the public that are interested.
Will there be limitations to the type of weapons they'll be able to carry?
No, there's no limitation. It's a firearm, not a rifle or a long gun. It's a, yes, yeah.
But there are some weapons considered machine pistols, Uzis or whatnot. Is that considered?
If it's under the legal division, the legal definition of a firearm, then it's legal to
So
carry.
people won't be walking into Starbucks with an AR-15 or anything?
No, no.
You mentioned
Yes.
requirements. What are some of those requirements? I just heard that there's a firearms proficiency test. Are you able to kind of just revisit that, what those requirements
Sure.
are?
So as far as the application process is concerned, one is the application itself. The second one is your registration for the firearm that you already have with a permit to acquire. So next would be your HIPAA or medical waiver, then your adult mental health division authorization waiver, your permit to acquire, so that original questionnaire that you answered for your permit to acquire, we want that as part of your process. A valid government identification so we know who you are. And then the training course, so the 4-hour course that you went through to get familiarization with firearms, understand firearm safety, understand the HRS Chapter 134 firearms law, and then Chapter 703, which is justification use of force, which all of our law enforcement officers have to understand. So we'd ask our citizens to understand that also. A notarized affidavit that says you qualified on the weapons certification. So based on the certification of the instructor that you have, the target system that they set up, and were you able to qualify at the various ranges, distances from the target. A couple passport photos, a $10 fee, and then anything else the state might have, but currently that's the gamut of what you need for the application process.
Will this permit be recognized outside of the state of Hawaii?
No. Right now, it's only for the city and county of Honolulu.
You mentioned that the application's starting from this past Sunday, 90 days from this past Sunday? Or the
Yes.
following Sunday? So is there just a ballpark date that you're looking to try to start issuing these?
It really depends. I mean, if those applicants that have everything done, that have the certification, the qualifications, and the packets ready to go, then it's just a matter of getting the information back from the medical in the background, and then we're cleared to go.
But the medical in the background part, that's the part that takes the longest.
Yeah, probably, yes.
And what kind of time delays are you seeing with that?
So the background check, not a long delay, that's a couple days. The medical waivers could be anywhere from a week, some have taken 14 days, some 30 days. So it depends. We may send you a letter to ask you to contact your healthcare provider and ask them if they can provide information to us faster.
Chief, concealed carry is now the law of the land, but what are your personal views, on this? And what are your worries that there are, more handguns on the street?
Well, I don't know if it's a worry. I think we have a training requirement for our officers to understand that there are individuals out there that conceal carry. And then, like I said earlier, is meshing the two between the citizens' maybe unfamiliarity with this because it's been 100+ years that no one in Hawaii has carried other than law enforcement. So how do we provide the information to all of those citizens to be comfortable or at least, be concerned that, yes, there are people out there, but they're not, the individuals that are requesting a permit or license to carry are all currently gun owners, right? So they've already gone through some kind of checks. And these are law-abiding citizens by and large, so I don't see any concern that these individuals are going to be a concern to law enforcement or to the average citizen. So I'm apolitical. I enforce the laws. That's what I do.
Has there been communication between counties as far as this process goes?
Yeah, the chiefs and I have all got together to discuss the future of, and as the legislature comes into session next year, January, what does that mean to all of us as they may impact or relook at 134 and maybe change legislation for that. Okay. With that, thank you for that part. If you want to, I want to talk about, for those of you that are interested, really quick, this is going to be the card that they're going to carry for concealed carry. So this will be available. They will have a picture on this card. It'll have their name, their license number, the caliber, and the type of weapon they carry. So this is a sample of what the card's going to look like. Next, I'd like to go into a story that was aired on one of the news stations last night regarding Waikiki and our possible or the inclination that we weren't telling the whole truth about statistics in the Waikiki crime area. And so when I saw that story last night, a little difficult, hard to understand. I know many of you provided stories that were fair and honest, but there was one of the news outlets that basically said that we weren't telling the truth or we were hiding statistics to provide a brighter light on Waikiki than what is actually happening. And so what you need to understand is statistics at the patrol level, the patrol commander pulls his own statistics based off of the computer systems that we have that are connected to CADs or CRS system, computer reporting systems. So that's different than the statistics that I pull from my crime analysis unit that follows the NIBRS, which is the FBI reporting system, used to be called UCR, Uniform Crime Reporting System, is now called NIBRS. And so those systems are a little bit different. The definitions are slightly off, but we've been able to input the data the way it is through NIBRS and understand. So I will let Major Platt come in and explain, come in and explain exactly what he was looking at statistic-wise, but there was nothing from HPD we were trying to hide statistics or mislead the public in understanding what Waikiki is going through as far as crime. So I'll let Major Platt explain what he was going through, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to comment on the news story. So for me, as I worked on this presentation for the conference, I pulled stats from what's called our CRS, and I basically looked at this conference as a continuation of one that we had in May. So we had a visitor safety briefing in May, and then shortly there, a couple weeks later, we had a town hall, virtual town hall, and I used pretty much that same PowerPoint, and I took those categories and I just updated them. So they were the crime categories that you saw in the conference on the 17th. I added one more category, and that's for catalytic converter thefts, because they're kind of an issue island-wide, and it's a stat that the commanders always brief the assistant chief on at the bureau meetings. So that's the reason why those categories were pulled. And again, I certainly wasn't trying to not put in any of the stats, as the chief mentioned. Aggravated assault, aggravated felony sex assaults, those are off of the CAU report, which is pulled from NIBRS, and it's not, I don't use that system. I just pull straight from the CRS.
Is this the Waikiki Public Safety Summit thing from last?
Yes.
I was
Right, you were there. You were at the
it's
table.
not just- I never write with bad
No, 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 no,
Okay, all right.
no, 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 no.
Well, what was wrong? I didn't see this news story that we're referencing here, so I don't.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. No, but those, I mean, what was the issue with those numbers? I mean,
So the issue, no, so the issue with that is they put up numbers from a couple of different categories that I didn't put up, and so in particular, one was felony assaults and felony sex
oh,
assaults.
so it wasn't the presentation you gave.
So it was the same presentation, but I didn't include those numbers in my presentation. And my numbers, as you know, showed generally a decrease in crime, or we were stable. We went up in thefts and assaults. We went up by like 1 incident, or projected to. But everything else is pretty good. But the numbers from the CAU report for felony assault and felony sex assaults, those showed a significant increase. And basically, we were criticized for not putting those numbers in. And again, so again, to just go over again, it's a different category. I don't use that system. But as far as sex assaults, you know, I don't put sex assaults in my stats, basically because sex assaults, and I didn't include domestic violence stats either. Those are crimes that happen in private, behind closed doors. And so there's not a whole lot that boots on the ground patrol officers are going to do that's really going to change that stat significantly. So, and you know, while it is to a point a concern for the community, again, it's nothing that we can really make that much a significant difference on. So I didn't include. That's the reason why I didn't include those stats in my numbers in my presentation.
Thank you all again, appreciate it.
That card again,
Sure.
to kind of zoom in on it.
Shall I hold it on this side?
Yeah, that works.
So if a gun owner owns multiple handguns, they have to have a permit for each particular handgun?
That depends. So if the person, and so my firearms people are trying to figure we could add more to this card. So if they apply for the same, or a number of licenses under the same application process, and they come in with the right required documents, then we can put it all on one card. But if you're doing one this week and then 30 days later you do another one, 30 days later you do another one, then it would all be on separate cards. Okay, thank you very much, I appreciate it, thanks for the opportunity.